Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 189 of the Best Bits podcast. It's been a little while since we've done one of these, and there is good reason for that, but the podcast is now back. We only have a 3-day week this week because I had Monday off, and obviously on Friday we didn't do a show on Friday, obviously in respect to the Queen, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, who passed away on Thursday, the 8th of September. We didn't do the show on Friday, but we do have the best bits from this week, including Believe Achieve, Identity Confusion, the future of real and virtual pubs, the definition of knackered, why you should have faith, and also a very clever young student. All that and more on the way in episode 189 of the Best Bits.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
9 minutes to 7 o'clock, home of the anthems all day long. This is Mark Denholm at breakfast on Atom Radio. Today, the day that Liz Truss becomes Prime Minister, winning the Conservative leadership election yesterday. And I'm just thinking, if she can do that, then by the end of the day, I could be king. I genuinely think if she can go on and become Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, I think I could be king. But there you go.
This is Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
Atom Radio.
Morning, 7:14. Mark Denholm banging out the anthems on Atom Radio on a Tuesday morning. If you are in Brighton, look out for the new school term. Obviously has started now. Look out for the road markings where it is that perhaps the road painters may have to go back to school. Contractors working outside Portslade Aldridge Community Academy wrote out the word school on the yellow zigzag lines and that, except for their spelling is slightly off. They spelt it SHCOOL. Imagine making a spelling mistake like that outside of school.
Mark Denholm at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
Caffeine is bad for you, fat is bad for you, and sugar is bad for you as well. But don't worry about it, though. Worrying is also bad for you. So there's no point increasing to the worry, is there? By, worrying about the coffee that you've just had, or maybe the donut you've just had, or something like that. Don't worry about it at all. Don't worry, be happy, as Bobby McFerrin once said.
This is Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
Atom Radio.
Morning, 8:21, Mark Denholm on Atom Radio, banging out the anthems. Today's the day where Liz Truss heads to Balmoral, where she'll have an audience with the Queen, who will ask her to form a government, and therefore, as the elected leader yesterday of the Conservative Party, she will become the new Prime Minister. Today, this day in 1988, 11-year-old Thomas Gregory from London swam the Channel, reaching Dover after 12 hours, the youngest person ever to achieve a cross-Channel swim. And this day, 2 years before that, the first series of the British medical drama Casualty was aired. Wow. Is that still on? I know they gassed off Holby City. Is Casualty still on? 1986. That's a long way away. What's Josh doing now?
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Liz Truss, the actress, has been congratulated by world leaders on becoming Britain's next PM. This happened on Twitter, where her name is Liz Truss, whereas the new Prime Minister is at Truss Liz. You see? It's an easy mistake to make, though, isn't it? 1 minute you're just a humble actress, and the next minute, all of a sudden, by the power of Twitter and your Twitter handle, you become a world leader. Well, I never.
This is Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
Atom Radio.
Yesterday on the show, we asked if the price of a pint of beer in a pub is forced to go up to £20 so that they can meet their outgoings in terms of their electric and their gas and all that over the winter. Where would you draw the line? Would you still say, no, I'm still going to the pub? Or would you say, actually, I'm going to do something else? And if it was, I'm going to do something else, what would your suggestion be? Because the pub is a bit of a staple, isn't it, of British life, really. People go meet at the pub and that, don't they? And then the other question, I suppose, is EastEnders and the Queen Vic, Emmerdale and the Woolpack and that. What happens to them? Are they going to close over the winter? In an accurate script writing to reflect the cost of living crisis? Who knows?
Mark Denholm at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
A woman in the 1700s gave birth to 16 pairs of twins, 17 sets of triplets and 4 sets of quadruplets in just 40 years, and all to the same man. they must be, possibly, or they must have been the world's tiredest couple, I would imagine.
This is Mark Denholm
At breakfast.
Atom Radio.
Atom Radio online, on mobile, on smart speaker. It is Mark Denholm at breakfast. According to its Latin roots, the word secretary basically means keeper of secrets, and that would be very, very true if you were OTS with the secretary, I suppose. In other news, music has been known to build an emotional bond between people, so singing in a group actually brings you closer together. That is one thing I am so jealous of, people that can sing. I love music, I really do. And I love sitting here of a morning banging out the anthems, right? And every now and then I will have a little sing to myself, but I always have to check first that the microphone is off. I have to check that first, because it is one thing I cannot do. I cannot sing. It's just not me. Sorry. No matter how hard I try, I cannot sing.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast. Podcast.
Mark Denholm at breakfast, banging out the anthems. Men are 5 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. Be careful, men, be careful. Probably can't say that in this day and age, though. Somebody somewhere is going to claim that is a sexist comment, and they're going to ask about, well, no, leave it.
Mark Denholm at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
Vegan activists cause chaos after supergluing themselves to Muller lorries. I therefore think, as they had chosen to superglue themselves to the lorries, and they put faith in the superglue, the lorries should just have driven as fast as they could and see what happened to the activists stuck on the top of them then. Can you imagine that? Lorries up at 60 miles an hour, and they're thinking, oh my God, I hope the superglue holds now.
This is Mark Denholm.
At breakfast.
Atom Radio.
I want to say morning to the hilarious school student. They were given an assignment to draw flags. Danish flag, perfect. White cross, slightly off-centered with red bits. Swedish flag, yellow cross, slightly off-centered with blue bits. Not the best one, though. The third one then says, please draw the Finnish flag, to which they've drawn a black and white checkered flag like you see at the Formula One. The teacher has ticked the Danish flag, ticked the Swedish flag. However, a cross and the word no appears next to the Finnish flag. Now, the only thing I would say is picky, but then I suppose Finnish is spelled F-I-N-I-S-H if you are talking about end, or if you're talking about the country, then it's F-I-N-N-I-S-H, which is where the problem therefore is, and therefore the teacher, sadly, is right.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast. Podcast.
It would be very wrong of me to conclude the podcast without reflecting on the events of this week. A week that started with Liz Truss announced as the Conservative Party leader and therefore going on to become the Prime Minister, hosted by Queen Elizabeth II at Balmoral on Tuesday, just after Boris Johnson officially tendered his resignation. Liz Truss was officially requested to form a government by Her Majesty the Queen. The Queen was then pictured happy and smiling at the age of 96 in Balmoral. And then 2 days later, it's announced that the Queen has died. Earlier this year, we celebrated the Queen's 70th anniversary, 70th Platinum Jubilee, it was, when we celebrated with the 4-day weekend and the events as the Queen notched up the milestone of 70 years on the throne. And then less than, just over a couple of months later, the Queen is gone at the age of 96. And for the first time in my life, we have a king. King Charles III now succeeds his mum to the throne. 70 years, though, is an amazing dedication. Anything. And the Queen, right up to the end on Tuesday, doing her formal duties, accepting a Prime Minister's resignation and requesting another politician to become the Prime Minister and form a government, right up to the end, the Queen doing her duties. Queen Elizabeth II, 1926 to 2022, 70 years of reign. Rest in peace.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast. Podcast.